So one of the most common complaints that I hear from a lot of fitness coaches is that they just don't like working with a percentage of their clients. Not all their clients, but usually about 20 to 30% of their clients. They just hate working with them. And I've went through this myself too. Years ago in my fitness business, I kept finding that a good amount of people that were joining my program, I just didn't want them there at all. I didn't want to work with them. I didn't want to help them out. They were more of a pain in the ass than a source of energy that brought excitement to my day-to-day business and coaching and the calls that I was on, right? I didn't want them to be there. I didn't want to help them out. They felt like a bother. So in trying to solve this problem for myself and trying to help my clients in Category King solve this problem too, I've come to the realization that it's the coach's fault. It's not the client's fault. So I've identified 7 mistakes that I was making in my marketing and sales process, that a lot of other coaches are making in their marketing and sales processes as well, that just leads to attracting the wrong people for your business. So if you have any clients right now, or you've had them in the past that you just don't like working with, I think that you'll find this video here very insightful in helping you solve this problem now before it gets out of hand. By the way, if you don't know me, my name is Andrew Holmes. I ran a fitness coaching business called Weight Loss Warriors for 6 years, starting in 2018. I averaged about 20 to 30K per month with no sales calls, no team, and only about 4 hours of work per day. And on this channel here, I break down all the systems and strategies that made that possible for you so that you can build a highly profitable, freedom-first business for yourself as well. So let's jump right in. I have worked with 866 fitness coaching clients since 2018. And with that mass of clients, I've learned a lot of hard lessons since then about how to only work with the right people. So with 866 clients, as you can imagine, there were more than a handful of bad eggs or just bad clients that I just didn't want to work with. Now, when I say that I hated working with these people, it wasn't everybody. I'll be clear, it wasn't everybody. The majority of people I worked with were awesome. They were great. I loved working with them. But the people that I didn't like working with, what I mean by that is like, they would be the kind of people who would miss payments all the time, and I would spend more time chasing after them rather than actually coaching them. Or they'd be constantly making excuses after excuses after excuses and never really following the plans I would give them. There were some people that would come in for a few weeks, get coached by me, steal all my programs, and then randomly charge back their payments or ask for refunds. There are people that would come in and just complain the entire time about anything that I asked them to do. There's other people that would come in, they do great for a few weeks, and then they would just give up or quit and then ghost me for the next few months and then disappear. And now all of this shit, it makes running a coaching business very stressful and very frustrating. So let's talk about how to prevent all these issues in advance so that you don't have to deal with these problems. So what I've learned is that the majority of these problems can be prevented in your marketing and sales process to make sure that you only bring in quality clients that you love working with. So there's 7 main problems that I've identified that I'm going to help you solve here if you don't want to deal with those type of problems and horrible clients. Number 1 is the most important, and it comes down to your marketing message and the way that you're talking to your audience, the way that you're trying to attract leads. So the big thing to understand here is that who you are talking to and how you talk to them is going to determine the quality of leads and therefore the quality of clients that you end up with. So I was on a coaching call with one of the members in Category Kings recently, and he was running into the situation where he was really frustrated that so many of his clients, he felt like he needed to babysit them, right? He felt like they needed a lot more hand-holding than the majority of his other clients. And even with all this babysitting and hand-holding, this group of clients that he had would never ever stick to the plan. They wouldn't follow the instructions that he gave them. They were just a pain in the ass. They were just not getting results. So here's what I told him. The issue is the message that you're speaking in your marketing, in your content, and it's that you're talking to the wrong group of people. You're talking to the type of people that are attracted to a babysitting service. So let me break this down. If in your marketing, you are talking to people who want to lose weight, that's fucking everybody, right? Like the majority of the population in the times that we live in now is pretty much everybody wants to lose weight. So you're gonna have a marketing message that resonates with a ton of people. And that sounds great, right? Sounds good. Because you're gonna have a lot of interest, you might have a lot of engagement on your content, but it's not going to lead to good quality clients, right? So if you're talking to somebody who wants to lose weight, you're going to attract people that are not doing anything about it. You're going to attract the people that are sitting on the couch, thinking about it, contemplating it, considering it. Maybe they're looking at some diets, but they're not actually doing anything about it, right? So when you bring them into your coaching program, you're going to have a hard time, or you're going to spend the majority of your time trying to convince them to take action rather than helping them take the right actions, if that makes sense. So if we just shift our marketing message a little bit, instead of talking to people who want to lose weight, we start talking to somebody who is already on the right path, people who are already in motion, people who have already started doing something about it, right? They're already making some progress on their own by themselves without a coach. These are your ideal clients. Then instead of offering to help people who want to begin losing weight, we offer the people who are already making some progress. They're just not happy with their progress, or they're not happy with the rate of progress. They're not happy with how they're getting progress. They're looking for a different approach, right? So we can talk to the people who are already in motion and tell them that we have a solution to help them get better results, faster results, healthier results, easier results, more sustainable results, or whatever unique approach you have, right? We're giving them a different opportunity rather than helping them get into motion. It's a very small and subtle and nuanced shift and difference in your marketing message, but it makes a huge difference to the type of client that you attract. So if you want better quality clients that are actually going to put in the work and you don't have to babysit them, don't talk to people who want to make don't talk to people that want to make progress towards the goal or the promise that you're offering. Talk to people that are already in motion, but are looking for a different opportunity or a better way to do it. That'll make a big difference in the quality of clients that you get. So that's number one. And that's the most important. It's the biggest one too. So number two is another shift with your content is stop sharing how-to content. So what I mean by that is like making content about like how to track your macros, how to build muscle, how to stop your cravings, how to increase testosterone, right? All of this how-to content attracts the kind of people who want to do it on their own, right? It attracts the people who are information junkies, not the people who want to coach, right? Which makes sales very difficult, definitely. But more than that, if you're attracting these people and somehow you can convince them to buy, you convince them to sign up for your coaching program, they're not the kind of people that are going to stay long. They're the kind of people that are going to come into your program and then ask for refunds because they realize that all the information inside of your program is already free on your social media, right? Because they were only attracted to the information, not the coaching, right? So again, small but subtle and important shift for your content. Number three is don't run sales or discounts for your coaching program. So by offering sales or discounts on your service, it puts you in a price competition. It makes people start comparing you to the massive companies and all the apps out there that offer these really cheap programs and they're always on sale, they're always at discount. It puts you in competition or comparison with them, and it puts you in a price race to the bottom. And I can't think of a better way to destroy your authority and your respect. So if you're offering sales and discount, it's going to attract people that won't stay long because you're attracting people that don't value their health and their fitness. You're attracting people that are only in it for a good deal. That's it. Now, if you're at a point in your business where you're not confident in selling at a higher price yet, or you don't have a lot of proof yet to justify your higher prices, instead, just set your normal coaching rate to a lower, more affordable rate for whatever stage you're at in your business, rather than setting it really high and then offering a discount or a sale on your service. It's going to position you in a much better way to hold your authority and keep the respect from your audience. Number four, don't do sales calls. So when I shifted my business from doing sales calls to closing in the DMs, my closing and conversion percentage did drop slightly. It wasn't a huge shift, but it was a slight drop in my conversion percentage when I quit doing sales calls. But at the same time, the client quality, the people that I was bringing into the business drastically improved, right? And what that meant is that over the long term, it was an increase in revenue, increase in profits, and an increase in monthly recurring revenue, and a higher lifetime value for clients because the people that I was bringing in stayed a lot longer. Now, why is that? Because when you're doing sales calls, even if you're you're not pushy at all. You're not the typical slimy salesperson. Just by putting people in that environment, putting your prospects in the environment of a sales call, in their shoes, in their position, people are going to feel some sort of pressure to buy at this moment, right? Even if you're not being pushy about it, and even if they're not 100% ready. So that means a percentage of the people that you're bringing into your program are going to have buyer's remorse. And that means they're going to be bad clients. They're either going to ask to leave, they're going to ask for refunds, or they're just going to be not fully committed to following the plan that you give them, right? So by dropping sales calls, selling the DMs, selling with a lot less pressure, a lot less of a salesy situation, it takes a lot of pressure off of the prospect and lets them act when they're ready, which means they're going to come into your program when they're ready to make the commitment, and they're going to get better results, they're going to stay longer, they're going to refer more people, and just overall better quality clients. So problem number 5 is kind of the next step to that. So at the same time that I quit doing sales calls, I also quit objection handling. Now, the reason that it's so important to stop objection handling, and this is going to be a big controversial thing, and especially in this industry because everybody pushes this, the reason we don't want to objection handle is because some people are just not ready to buy yet for whatever reason, and that's okay. But if we objection handle people, if we push people to pay you money, at that point in the relationship, because a coach, client working together, it's a relationship, right? It's a relationship that we're working with them, they're working with us. It's a back and forth relationship. At that very point in the relationship, when we're just kind of starting that relationship, if they're not ready to jump in right now, if they're giving you excuses, whether it's not the right time, I don't have money, my spouse isn't on board, whatever it might be, the typical objection handling things that we try to push people through, whatever excuse they're giving means they're not ready to get results. It means that they're not ready to commit, and that's okay. But if we push them in, they're going to have a bad time, and so are you, right? And if at the very start of that relationship, if they're already giving you excuses, what do you think is going to happen once they're inside your program? It's going to be the exact same issues. You're going to be much more excuses, but it's going to be on a daily basis. You're going to have to deal with this person's excuses on a daily basis. So just stop objection handling. Let people come in when they're ready. You'll get better quality clients. Again, they'll stay longer. They'll refer more. Your lifetime value will increase. You'll get longer monthly recurring revenue increases. Just overall improvements for your coaching program and your business, and a better, less frustrating, less stressful experience without having to deal with people's excuses and complaints on a daily basis. Problem number 6, don't overpromise in your offers. So if you're making huge promises about potential results that you can get people, it might initially get you a lot more signups on the front end. And that's where people get caught in this trap, because they see they make these big offers, they get more signups, they're like, awesome, great, this is working. But that's a short-term temporary band-aid fix that doesn't work out very well long-term. So if you're making big promises to attract people into your program, the people that are coming in are they're gonna be like the quick fix mindset type of people who are gonna be very flaky, they're gonna be inconsistent, they're gonna quit early, they're gonna ask for refunds when they don't see results in fucking 7 days, right? This is one of the worst ways to get horrible clients, by making big promises. So instead, I would much rather you make small promises, because small promises are very easy to keep. For example, in my business now, in Category Kings, so previously in my fitness business, before I started Category Kings, in my fitness business, I was making consistent 20K to 30K months. So I've proven to myself it works. I have the plan, the systems, and the strategy to repeat that. And I've had members inside of Category Kings hit 5K weeks, hit 20K plus months, multiple people. So I could make the big promise, hey, I'll get you to 20 to 30K per month. But instead, I don't. In my offer to join Category Kings, the promise I'm making people is to help you make your next $5,000 and sign at least 10 plus new clients, not get to 20 to 30K months, right? I make a very small promise, because that small promise I'm making people is one that I know I can easily over deliver on. And then when I bring people in with a small promise and then I over deliver on it, it makes really, really happy customers and long-term clients. So in your business, in your fitness coaching business, if you make small promises, you'll get clients that are extremely happy when you get them better results than they expected because you made them a small promise. And you'll get fewer frustrated clients. And the truth is, even if you did get 1 or even 2 like really incredible transformations or results in a short time period for some of your clients, the majority of people coming into your program are not going to be able to repeat that. So don't promise to get the same result. Don't talk about the potential ultimate result. Talk about a result that you know you can get everybody, that you know you can deliver on. Number 7, again, kind of another improvement to your offer or a big change to your offers is don't make guarantees. So I'm sure we've all read the big purple offer gospel book, right? That says we have to reverse risk and we have to give crazy guarantees and you're going to sell more. And the author of that book is 100% true. He's not lying to you. If you reverse risk and you offer big guarantees, you will sell more front-end clients with big guarantees. That is true. But if you offer guarantees, you're going to attract clients who do not want to take personal accountability or responsibility. They will be horrible clients to deal with. They won't stay very long when they don't get results. And worst of all, when they don't get results, they're going to blame you rather than themselves. Even if you went over the top with accountability, support, coaching, guidance, all that kind of stuff, you over-delivered on how you're helping them out, they're just not going to follow the plan and they're going to blame you, right? People that are attracted to guarantees and risk reversal of any type, they're the kind of people that don't want to take responsibility, right? They want to blame their problems on somebody else. So they're looking for a guarantee so that they don't need to be responsible for their lack of effort, right? So that's it. Those are the 7 problems that you need to solve along with their solutions, right? So if you want to start attracting better clients that you love working with, who stay longer, who don't stress, who refer their friends, and get incredible results that you can showcase to help you sign even more quality clients, take action on all those 7 steps there. Start solving those problems in advance, even if you're at the point in your business where you're not attracting people that you hate working with. You want to be preemptive. You want to handle these issues before they become issues, right? So even if you're not dealing with this issue now, take these 7 problems and make these changes to your offer, to your content, to your marketing, your sales process, so that you don't run into this problem in 6 months, 12 months, or a couple of years down the road as your business continues to grow. So I hope you found this video insightful and helpful. If you would like my further help to build a better business with simple systems and help you make your next $5,000 and sign your next 10 clients over the next 16 weeks, I would love to help you out. So I will drop some links below this video here with more details on how we can work together. And I'll see you next time.